While dogs often earn the title of man's best friend, chimpanzees are undeniably closer to us in terms of genetic relation. Despite this closeness, there exists a clear hierarchy. Yet their similarity to humans can sometimes lead people to treat them as if they were human themselves, overlooking the fact that they are still wild animals at heart. This oversight may have been a tragic error in the case of Travis the chimpanzee's owner, resulting in catastrophic consequences when Travis violently attacked.
He ripped her face off!
He ripped her face off?
Please hurry! Please hurry! Oh my God!
Travis the chimpanzee's story begins in Africa, where his father, Coco, was captured in the 1970s. Coco was transported to Festus, Missouri, a small city in Jefferson County. There, he became a resident of the Missouri Chimpanzee Sanctuary, run by Mike and Connie Casey. In 1995, Susie was paired with Coco, resulting in the birth of her offspring on October 21st. Tragically, just 3 days later, Susie was sedated, and her newborn was separated from her and sold for $50,000 to Sandra Herold. Sandra and her husband Jerry were prosperous entrepreneurs, with a string of automotive businesses in Stamford, Connecticut. Throughout the 1970s, Sandra and later her daughter Sue embarked on a journey across states, participating in semi-professional barrel racing at various rodeos. These travels led to pivotal encounters that shaped Sandra's future. One significant meeting was with Charla Nash, a young runaway navigating the rodeo circuit. Their friendship blossomed, extending beyond the road. Another memorable moment occurred during a rodeo where a chimpanzee, decked out in cowboy attire, captivated Sandra's attention. Intrigued, she ventured backstage to meet the chimp and its owner, sharing gummy bears with the grateful primate. At his next show, he saw Sandra and jumped off his horse, landing in her arms. She fell for him right away. Skipping ahead to the 1990s, their car business took off, turning the Herolds into millionaires. Following the loss of her parents and her child moving away, Sandra felt a void in her life. Then, on October 21st, 1995, a phone call from Connie Casey changed everything. "Your baby has arrived, it's a boy." Soon after, Sandra held a newborn chimpanzee in her arms, paying in cash for her new companion. She named him Travis, after her favorite singer, Travis Tritt. Back home in Stanford, Sandra and Jerry showered Travis with love and care, treating him like family. Travis was bottle-fed, burped, and even had his own crib in their bedroom. As he grew, they taught him basic hygiene habits and dressed him in different outfits every day. While they loved Travis like a child, they knew his growth would bring challenges. They made changes to their home, building a room with a cage and an outdoor area to suit Travis's needs. In his bedroom, there stood a robust metal door, securely lockable, allowing Travis access to various rooms, including an outdoor enclosure where he could wander freely when left alone. The family also adapted their towing business to include Travis, who often accompanied them and even hitched rides to pick up vehicles. Gradually, Travis learned to greet passing policemen and pose for photos with them, earning local fame as numerous residents shared stories about him. Sandra's joy was palpable when her daughter, Sue, returned to town after her separation. She cherished the time spent with her daughter and grandson, often engaging in lively conversations while Travis and Sue's son Tyler played together. Sandra's close friend, Charla, would also visit, with Travis gleefully climbing all over her and tangling up her long blonde hair. Unfortunately, these idyllic moments were short-lived. Tragedy struck one fateful night while returning to their new home. Sue was involved in a fatal car accident, plunging Sandra into a profound depression. Amidst the darkness, Travis remained Sandra's sole source of comfort. As Travis rapidly matured, he established a routine with Jerry, sharing a glass of wine with dinner most evenings. Despite generally good behavior, a pivotal incident occurred in 2003. While en route to the tow shop, they halted at an intersection where someone hurled an empty bottle into Travis's partially open window. Enraged, Travis unbuckled his seatbelt, flung open the car door, and dashed into the street. He frolicked, disrupting traffic, climbing on vehicles, and even chasing police officers who responded to the chaos. Efforts to restrain him proved futile, as he repeatedly bolted from the car. The escapade persisted for hours until Travis finally wearied and voluntarily returned to the vehicle, securing his seatbelt. Though known to law enforcement, Travis's misadventure was perceived as playful, resulting in no charges. Nevertheless, he faced consequences, spending the following day grounded in his room. Notably, a few years earlier, Travis's parents, Susie and Coco, along with another chimpanzee, had escaped, leading to a tragic turn of events. The trio engaged in what neighbors described as playful antics, but tragedy struck when one of the teens present shot and killed Susie. Back in Stamford, Travis's mischievous antics had caught the attention of the State Department of Environmental Protection. They also observed that the Herolds were in breach of a recent law mandating a permit for owning a primate weighing over 50 pounds. Despite that, the authorities refrained from action due to Travis's popularity in the community, opting not to exacerbate public sentiment. Meanwhile, the town's animal control officer, concerned about Travis's transition into adulthood, consulted a primatologist about the town's most famous resident, Travis, and learned that as he approached adulthood, he would not only possess the strength of at least 5 men, but also become more unpredictable and potentially violent. The animal control officer shared these concerns with Sandra, who listened, but assured her that Travis had never shown any signs of violence. However, in 2005, the situation worsened for the Herolds. Jerry was diagnosed with stomach cancer, requiring frequent hospital stays. His absence profoundly affected Travis, who became despondent and seemingly depressed. Travis would frantically sniff Sandra's clothes when she returned from visiting Jerry and lift photos off the walls, pressing his lips to the glass. As Jerry's cancer progressed, he urged Sandra to consider what to do with Travis if he were to pass away. Despite the difficulty, he recommended sending Travis to a sanctuary, as he was too much for one person to handle. Jerry passed away on April 12th. Sandra fell deeper into depression, withdrawing from many of her friends. Travis also seemed to sink into a depressive state. A year after Jerry's death, Sandra wrote a letter to a woman in Florida who ran a chimpanzee sanctuary. In the letter, she described how Travis still waited at the bedroom window, hoping for Jerry's return. She felt alone, having lost her husband and only daughter, with her grandchildren living several states away. She worried about what would happen to Travis if something happened to her. She wanted Travis to have companionship and be with his own kind. She enclosed a $250 donation and mentioned her intention to visit soon to discuss the situation face to face. However, Sandra never sent the letter and did not make the trip. Sandra had maintained contact with her longtime friend Charla Nash following Jerry's death. Charla, known for her nomadic lifestyle, had briefly settled when she stayed at a homeless shelter for a year. Now a mother, Charla faced challenges, prompting Sandra to offer her and her daughter the apartment built by the Herolds, rent-free. Sandra even arranged for Charla to work at the towing company and help tend her garden, occasionally babysitting Travis, who hadn't left the property in 4 years. Travis, now a hefty 14-year-old ape, spent his days consuming junk food and watching TV. In an attempt to lift Sandra's spirits, she and Charla enjoyed a weekend at a casino. Returning home, Sandra noticed Travis behaving unusually, restlessly running around the cars in the yard, yearning for a change of scenery. Worried about his behavior, Sandra gave him a Xanax tablet, popping it into a mug of tea while he drank. Xanax is a short-acting tranquilizer normally used to treat panic disorders and anxiety. Potential side effects include changes in behavior, loss of self-control, general confusion, and a feeling of unreality. Despite these risks, Sandra hoped it would calm him down. Unable to pacify Travis, Sandra reached out to Charla for help. Their subsequent actions would have a profound impact on all involved, marking a significant turning point in their lives. Arriving at Sandra's property around 3:40 p.m., Charla opened the iron gate and drove up to the front of the house. As she got out of her car and saw Travis about 35 feet away, she playfully picked up a red Elmo doll she had brought with her and held it over her face. For reasons unknown, Travis suddenly charged at Charla, his 240-pound frame knocking her into her car and then to the ground, where he sat on her. Sandra, witnessing this, screamed at Travis to stop, but her pleas were in vain. She grabbed a snow shovel and began beating him with it, but Travis would not relent. Charla was already a bloody mess as Travis bit, gnawed, and ripped at her. Desperate, Sandra ran back into the house to fetch a knife and plunged it into Travis's back. He momentarily stopped and looked at Sandra, then resumed his savage attack on Charla. Fearing for her own life, Sandra jumped into one of her cars, still clutching the knife, and made a frantic 911 call.
For 911, where's your emergency?
This is Sandra Herold. 241 Rock Rimmon Road.
What's the
Send
problem?
the police. Send the police.
What's the problem there?
The chimp killed my friend.
What's the problem with your friend?
Oh, please.
What's the problem with your friend? I need to know.
Send the police up with a gun. With a gun. Hurry
Who
up.
has a gun?
Please hurry up. He's killing my girlfriend.
What is the problem?
He's killing my friend.
Who's killing your friend?
Chimp, my chimpanzee.
Oh, your chimpanzee is killing your friend.
Yes. He ripped her apart. Hurry up.
With a gun.
Hurry up, please.
There's someone on the way.
With guns, please. You shoot him.
What is the monkey doing? Tell me what the monkey's...
He ripped her face off.
He ripped her face off?
He's trying to attack me. Please,
Okay,
hurry.
I need you to calm down a little bit. They're on the way.
She's dead.
Why are you saying that she's dead?
She's dead. He ripped her apart.
He ripped what apart? Her face?
Everything.
He ripped her apart?
Listen, I think I'm gonna pass out.
No, just breathe, okay? I'm going to stay with you on the phone until they get there.
Listen, please hurry. Please hurry. Oh my God.
The call lasted for 12 harrowing minutes. When the police arrived, they found Charla's body brutalized and soaked in blood. Travis had ceased his attack and was now roaming the grounds. He approached the police car and smashed off its driver's side mirror. Blood still dripping from his teeth, he managed to open the driver's side door. The officer inside quickly drew his firearm and shot Travis 4 times. Travis staggered back, let out a scream, and ran off. The officer then approached Charla Nash's mutilated body, with chunks of flesh and severed fingers scattered across the lawn. As he got closer, Charla reached out to him with what remained of her arm. Following the trail of blood, they found Travis inside the house, dead. Charla's wounds were catastrophic. The crazed chimpanzee had destroyed her face, tearing away her eyelids, nose, jaw, lips, and most of her scalp. Every bone in her facial structure was broken. He had completely ripped off one of her hands and severely damaged the other. Despite the horrific injuries, Charla survived, but she faced a long road of surgeries and rehabilitation. Her will to live was remarkable. As for Sandra, she found herself utterly alone. Her only company was the swarm of journalists and news reporters at her door, eager for a story. The narrative that hurt her the most was the accusation that she cared more for Travis than for Charla. Despite her love for Charla, Sandra was devastated by Travis's death. She couldn't bear to clean up his blood and instead put a toy chimpanzee in his favorite chair. Talking about the attack often made her cry. Sandra felt a deeper connection to animals than to people, whether it was horses, dogs, or feeding local raccoons and deer. Yet nothing could replace Travis. She eventually decided to share the responsibility of another baby chimpanzee named Chance with a friend out of state, knowing she could never bring the primate back to her hometown. 15 months after the attack, Sandra suffered a ruptured aortic aneurysm and passed away. She was buried alongside her husband, Jerry. Inside her coffin lay 2 urns, one containing her daughter Susan's ashes and the other containing Travis's ashes. Charla Nash was left blinded and severely disfigured by the attack, with only her right thumb remaining functional. She has undergone various experimental surgeries, including a face and hand transplant. Although the hand transplant failed, Charla remains resilient and positive. She has spoken about her face transplant and expressed her desire to focus on healing and moving forward, rather than dwelling on the attack she cannot remember. Charla's determination and spirit after surviving such a horrific ordeal serve as an inspiration to us all. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, press that subscribe button. If you have a topic you'd like us to cover, leave a comment below. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.